I'll do cloud. All right, we are recording.
Yay, awesome. What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. I'm so excited to be with my good friend Nicole and Diamond Leader that is a part of our team. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight, you guys, and some of you this might resonate like so hardcore with you, and then some of you might not be in this season of your business. And so but I think it'll be helpful for you guys to kind of hear both of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about momentum, right? How many of you guys feel like you are in a season of your business where things are just popping, like customers are coming through the system, distributors are coming through, your team is enrolling, like momentum is just like happening? Like drop something in the comments if you feel like business is booming and it's picking up, it's just in momentum right now, and you're just you're going on this hill with your team, and things are going good. I'm going to also talk about, for some of you that might just be getting started in your business, or maybe you're someone that's maybe not in a momentum season yet, but you're wondering, like, how do I get the momentum? Like the big mo, like how do you get it? And so I think of momentum as literally, like, when I think of momentum, this is what I picture. I picture you trying to push a car up a hill, okay? And you're pushing this car up the hill and it's taking forever. Like it's just not going anywhere. Like you are putting all of your force, all of your effort to get this car up a hill, and you get tired and you're like just making all this effort to get this car up. And I want you to understand that when you're trying to create that momentum and you're on the bottom of the hill trying to get your vehicle going upward, you are building so much strength. And just because the momentum and the enrollments and the promotions aren't happening, you are growing so much at the bottom of the hill trying to push up that car because of all the effort you're putting into it, and because of the growing pains that you're going through, and all the things that you're going and growing through is through that spot at the bottom of the hill. Okay. So I don't know where you guys are all at in your business, but we're going to talk about how you can create momentum within your organization and how to get unstuck. Because maybe some of you have been sitting at the same rank for a hot freaking second, and you were just like, how do I get to the freaking next level? How do I get my team motivated? How do I create this momentum in my business and create this monumental shift that will take me from where I'm at to where I want to go? Are any of you guys on here that are like, that's me? We're going to talk about it. So a couple of things with momentum. Number one, I think that momentum as a team comes after momentum comes personal. So you have to get your personal momentum up for the team momentum to be right where you want it to be. Okay. So how do we get our personal momentum up? A couple of things. Number one, our mindset, right? We shift our mindset. Number two, we make a decision. We make a decision that we are changing some things, that we are not going to stay where we've been sitting for constant however long. We make a decision, and it's not just a decision one time, it's a decision daily. I'm going to wake up every single day and decide that I'm going to work my business with intention, and I'm going to freaking create momentum for myself, and I'm going to get my own results. Because guess what happens when you get your own results and you decide to work your business every day and you're showing up as a business owner every day? Naturally, your team will follow. And I promise you, I have learned this, and this is true today still. The leader of the pack is the speed that your team goes. So if you're not enrolling personally, how do you expect your team to be enrolling? They're not, probably. And so if you want momentum and you want enrollments through your team, start here. Start looking and saying, how can I get better today? How can I get momentum in my own business? How can I get these results going? So that way I can pour down into my team. My team can see me be enrolling. They're going to be on fire and excited, and they're going to naturally enroll and follow the leader's footsteps. Okay. And so I wanted to bring up Nicole, because Nicole, I feel like, is someone who is in a Ruby Rut. We literally did a Zoom on this last year. And she sat at Ruby for a hot freaking second, okay? And she was in what we called a Ruby Rut. She sat at Ruby for a hot freaking second. And I want her to talk a little bit about how she got out of that rut and created momentum to get her business to diamond. Nicole, can you unmute yourself?
Hello. Okay. Yes. The Ruby Rut, dude, I remember saying that. I was so frustrated. Like when I hit Emerald, you would have thought I hit Diamond, because I was like so relieved. to just finally get out of the Ruby Rut. So one thing that I will say that kept me there for 10 months, I sat at Ruby for 10 months. And I think what really kept me there was I had quit my job like after I went Ruby, and I was working full time from home, and I got really complacent. Like I was really proud of the fact that I hit Ruby, and that basically I was making an average $500 a month, income disclosure, and actually sometimes even higher than that because my fast starts were like, they were really high. So probably actually more than that. And I realized it just made more sense to do that than pay $1,700 a month on daycare. So that is why I quit. But then I started noticing that I was dropping off. Like I wasn't waking up at, 7 a.m. anymore. I was starting to sleep in because like I was really complacent. Well, then my business wasn't growing. It was staying stagnant. And then eventually like it was just like fluctuating over and over. And the one thing I really had to change was switching my mindset into a business owner, because I remember being at Tay's house and we were having that conversation, and she asked me, well, when would you typically wake up for the bank? And I would tell her, and she's like, okay, are you waking up earlier than that for yourself? No. Okay, so why do you have that respect for a job that treated you like shit? Sorry, pardon my French, but treated you like crap, and then you're not even showing up for yourself or your own business. And it's like, dang, okay. So I started getting up at that time every morning. I just made that switch, and I started getting up every morning, being on the 8 a.m. power hour, and being so much more consistent in terms of self-development, whether it be read a book or listen to a podcast or YouTube. So I just made that switch, and I started noticing that I was really excited because I was talking to my team about my goals. I was telling them, you guys, like, we're going to be a diamond team. I remember having this chat. It was called Diamond Pushers. Now we're Diamond Achievers, and pushing for double and triple. But the big thing I did was like I would get my team on power hours. Like there were days where I really needed to shower. I'm not gonna lie. I like really needed to shower. And when I promoted to Diamond, I looked really ratchet. So but that is just the things that it took. Like I had to do more power hours with my team. I had to bring that momentum myself, because I found that a lot of my team didn't personally believe that they could hit the rank. And here I was staying Ruby, and I just hit Emerald. I was staying Ruby for 10 months, and I was only Emerald for 2 months before I hit Diamond. And I'll be honest, my second month of Emerald, I actually dropped volume. Like that's the crazy thing. Like I barely scraped by with my teeth that month of Emerald. And that next month, we brought in over 4,000 in new volume, and brand new volume. And a lot of the other orders were like current customer orders. But I was getting people on Zooms. And another thing that I've been doing is a thermometer, like talking to your team about what your goal is and showing the volume goal. I even told Taylor before, I said, you know what I realized I really love that you did was when you had that thermometer for ambassador. Like it hyped me up. It was like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot of freaking volume. And it also made me feel like my goal wasn't so scary. So just like me, like pushing, like this month we have like an 8,000 extra in volume goal. And, as we're going for that goal, even if we're not meeting it every single day, my team is seeing that we are still putting in that effort. Every time we get an order, if there's an auto ship that ran, a new customer order or a distributor order, whatever it may be, like we're putting that in that chat and we're talking about the next goal. And I think too, when you have people who are like trying to pop to Ruby, they're thinking like, wow, like they're wanting like 8,000, 10,000 volume. 1,000 isn't going to be too bad for me then. And it's going to make them feel like it's not as hard as they think it is. And they're going to be more excited. So I think the biggest thing for me when promoting to Diamond, it was just making that switch of having that business mindset and showing up for myself the way that I showed up for a regular job on a day-to-day basis that I hated. And like, I really took for granted that, I'm my own business owner now, and I have to start acting like one. And changes that I've made since Diamond, I've realized I have so much growth I still have to do for my next rank. And so like shifts that I've made of myself is, Lord Jesus, waking up at 5 a.m. And I have to admit, I'm still not a fan, but I still show up. Last night I got 2 hours of sleep. It was a rough night, but I still got up. And just because I know I want more for myself, and I really badly, I just really want to skip double and go to triple. Like that's my dream. Triple, my dream.
And I think something that you said there that was key was you wanted more for yourself. And I want everyone in the comments to like put what you actually joined for. Okay. Like, what did you actually join for? Because we can all say $500, but it's like, you're not going to get up at 5 a.m. to make $500. I'm sorry. Like, you cray cray. You're not going to be busting your booty every day, grinding your butt off, doing all the things for $500 a month. No, because I will tell you, the people who just want $500, they won't do it. They won't do it. They won't make the decision because their goal is so small. And so they're not going to go the extra mile and wake up early. And they're not going to go the extra mile and develop themselves. And they're not going to go the extra mile and get their messages out and their host to post up if their goal is only $500 a month. Because that's not a lot of money for a lot of effort. Can I get an amen? Right? So like figure out like what is your bigger freaking why? Like what do you really want this business to do for you? And I don't mean just like barely scrape you by getting your bills paid, but like what do you want? Like what do you really want this business to fill for you? Like do you want, I mean, you're going to find your purpose in this business and it doesn't always happen as soon as you join, but like think bigger and dream bigger and have bigger goals for yourself because it'll make that decision every day that you make to work your business so much easier if you have something pulling you. Okay. And I don't mean pushing you. Okay. You can't look for an upline, a sideline to push you to feel motivated to work this. You have to have something inside of you that is just like burning so deep inside of you that you want. And you are relentlessly waking up every day until you go get it and until you go fulfill whatever that goal is, whatever that dream is. Maybe it's a monthly income goal that will allow you to do X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is, you've got to get something so big in front of you because then you will want to run towards it and you will want to wake up and work your business and you will want to promote. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, when my goal was $500 in the beginning of this business, I slacked. I didn't do all the things. I wasn't hungry. $500, okay, psh. But when my goal was to go diamond and there was a $10,000 bonus on the line, how do you think I worked my business? With my freaking pants on fire. I was sprinting. I was doing all the things because there was a $10,000 bonus dingling in my face. And so you work differently. If the reward is bigger, you work differently. And maybe some of you needed to hear that your goals are too small, bro. Like you're not asking God for big enough goals. And maybe you need to get off this Zoom and figure out what you want. 20 things, write 20 things on a piece of paper that you want, things that you can't just go get right now, things that are so far out of reach. And maybe you need to stretch your dream muscle because you've been so content with settling and you just accept what is. And I'm going to tell you right now, this business requires boldness. And boldness is a pathway to success. And how do we develop boldness? By doing things that scare us, by going after things that aren't easy. Because guess what? 9 to 5 is easy. You clock in, you clock out. It's easy. It's safe. It's safe. This is not easy, but it is so worth it. And there's purpose there and there's meaning there. And so you have to chase something bigger and stop playing small. Because I think when you up your goal and you up that thing that's just like pulling you, you're going to work your business with so much more intention. And how many of you guys freaking have a bonus that you can go earn right now? You're sitting on something that is so huge that can change your whole freaking life. Like how many of you can earn a bonus? Put it in the comments. What bonus can you earn right now? Let me hear it. Put it in the comments. Let me see it. Probably a lot of you, 5,000. Yep. 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, 20,000. You guys, like, do you understand how insane that is? That you can produce that and all of you have what it takes inside of you. You just have to make the decision and like really decide. Not just decide on the Zoom because it feels good and we're saying all these things to get you all hyped up and motivated, but like get off the Zoom tomorrow and wake up and decide again. And then wake up and decide again on Thursday and on Friday and on Saturday and then on Monday. Take your Sabbath, but like make that continuous decision and watch how you work. You will work with so much more intention. Okay, I'm gonna get off my high horse.
Okay, wait, can I add one thing? Because you just like hyped me up. I'm literally so hyped right now. I'm like,
I'm sweating.
like doing this to like stop myself from talking. Okay, so here's the thing. I was talking to this girl today on the phone, and she was actually a customer of mine, and she was telling me like, I just feel like I can't just lose weight. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I had her like walk me through a couple of things that she's doing. And she's like, well, I mean, like on the weekends and stuff, like I have, you know, a couple beers and, you know, but I work out every day. And I was like, here's the thing. You want to lose 30 pounds. What do you want to lose 30 pounds for? And she was like, I want to lose so I feel better. And I was like, okay, so if you want to feel better, then feeling better must not be more important to you than the beer. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, it's just, you're just in the habit of just drinking a beer, right? You just come home, your husband's pouring a bourbon and you're drinking a beer. It's just kind of what you do. You have to replace that with something. And so many of you guys are in habits that aren't serving where you're trying to go. You're in the habit of making excuses for why you can't. You're in the habit of watching Grey's Anatomy, I'm talking to myself, instead of doing the things that you know you should be doing. Okay? Instead of that, snap yourself out of the habit and say, why am I doing this? And then she started talking to me about how she didn't feel comfortable. And listen, I've never met this girl, but she's never she didn't feel comfortable. Her and her husband are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and she didn't feel comfortable even being naked in front of them. And I said, if nothing else is going to motivate you, that should motivate you. Not the beer, not the temporary satisfaction of drinking the beer, but the satisfaction of knowing that in 2 months, if you don't have any beer, if you do the things that you need to do on a consistent basis, because every time, and all of you guys are the same way, maybe even with your business, you work your business so hard during the week and then you don't do anything on the weekend. It's the same way with food. You say you want to lose the weight, but then you're like, oh, it's the weekend, I earned it, I deserve it. What? You just erased everything you did during the week. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that? Build on the habit. Stop rewarding yourself before you get the result. Get the result and then reward yourself. Okay, I'm done.
No, that was so good. So good. And I feel like when you focus on the right things, you're going to get the results that you want. And I feel like that's going to also create momentum because the results, if you're getting results in your business, you're going to have momentum because you're going to be bringing in new blood. You're going to be bringing in new team members, and you're going to be naturally, they're going to be bringing in new people. And so you're just going to have this like snowball effect of enrollments just because you focused on the right habits and you were taking that massive action in your business. And then your team is going to see you taking action and getting results. And then you're going to be able to help them get results. And so it's just, it works back to back. I found this thing. So this is Dave Ramsey. Meg, I know you love Dave Ramsey, but he has this theorem and it's a momentum theorem. And the equation is Fi over T times G equals momentum. Okay. And I just kind of wanted to like break this down because I feel like this is super good and it makes sense. So the F on the top of the equation, it stands for focus. So it says, so often we're being pulled a million different directions with our husbands, with our kids, with our wives, maybe with, all of our duties, all of the hats that we wear. And so our attention is literally just all over the place. But the people that let those things take control over their focus, they are dabbling in this business. And this business then becomes a hobby. And then they're on for a week and then they're off for a day. And then they're on for a day and they're off for a day. And they're just dabbling, okay? Because their focus is not this. And their priorities are everything else but this. But when you have your focus on this and you're treating this like a business and it is a priority and you're making the time for it, that focus is going to help you get rid of fear and start taking that action because you're focusing on the right things. And then the I in the equation is intensity. And it says intensity and passion is why people join you. You can't just want to make money. You have to have something about you that inspires people, that you're passionate about this business. And like, why are you doing this? Are you putting it out there on social? Are people joining you? And are they getting to know you through your posts? Because that intensity, that passion, that's what's going to sign people. It's not the label on the product. Like, people join people. And so that's part of the equation with momentum, is you have to have that intensity and that passion about you as you're working your business. And then the T is time. So just like you have your focus, like the time that you're spending, and it says, if you're focused on activities, you're going to get results. And it says being consistent over a period of time. Okay. So success doesn't just happen like as soon as you join this business. You're not just like producing results out the butt. Okay. It takes time. And the people that are at the top of this business is not because they've had a huge following. It is not because they've had just success in their bloodstream. They are at the top and they promoted because they put a lot of focus. They've spent a lot of time. Okay. Time, having intensity over time is going to create momentum. And so it's not just doing something for a month and being intense for a month. Try doing that for a year. Try doing that for 2 years, right? Some people won't even give this a month. And it's like, bro, it does take time. So have that focus and have that time of, this is going to be, a long-term investment for me to change my life with this opportunity, and not just a short time, like, I'm going to give it a week and then see what happens type thing. You know what I mean? Like, people that promote, it's because they've given it time and they've been consistently working their business over a long period of time. And then the G is God. So putting your work and putting your faith and your business in God's hands and letting him like bless it. Let him do the promotion. Let him do the people pleasing, and like let him put the people in your line of vision. If you're doing the work and you're putting your faith and your business in his hands, your promotion is going to happen by default on his time, not on your time, but on his time. You just got to show up every day in faith, knowing that you're planting the seeds and knowing that your work is meaningful and knowing that you're going to find the right people, and don't work in fear. And I'm only saying that because I worked my business in fear for so long. And now it's like, when I start a new month, I'm not worried about if I'm going to fill my steps. Like, I know those people are going to show up because I've been so consistent for 5 years. Like, God's going to keep blessing me because I keep planting the seeds. And so that's an important part of it, is working in faith, knowing that your work, you're expecting, like, work with an expectant heart. So that way, when you're putting in the work, your people are coming, and you're not working in a place of, no one's even going to respond, so this is pointless, or no one's going to comment, this is pointless to try to get posts up. And so there's just a shift of energy there. And Nicole, I want you to talk about, because we just had this conversation the other day about kind of shifting that mindset of going into the conversations with an expectancy versus going into it afraid of what people are going to think, or afraid of rejection, which I'm sure a lot of people on here are afraid to message because they're afraid of being rejected or being told no. If that's you, put a 3 in the comments, because that was me for the first part of my business. But let's just talk on that a little bit, and like helping people kind of get out of their comfort zone with that.
Yeah, I was just about to say that really leads into stepping outside of your comfort zone. Something that like I personally struggled with. Like, it's like, damn, I'm sending the messages, I'm asking for host to post. Like, I'm literally looking at my list and I'm like, I'm waking up at 5, I'm doing the things. But really, I was thinking like, where's the disconnect? And one thing I found is, holy crap, like, I'm not messaging enough brand new people. Like, brand new people that you've never been in their inbox before. And when I would message those brand new people, it's like typically just like a positive vibe message, and like just kind of forming a conversation, which, don't get me wrong, I still feel is very important. You should build conversation. However, that shouldn't be all of your messaging. And that's something I recently learned. I was asking Tay, I said, what are your messages that you're sending out? And her and I were on Zoom, and she challenged me to send out this message. And you guys, this is so uncomfortable for me because I even said, like, back before I did this, like, I knew what those messages are when people would hop in my inbox, like, basically saying that they think I could do what they do. And I'm like, I'm sharing cat pictures. I don't even have like a Facebook app yet. Like, don't tell me I could do what you do. And so for me, it was really uncomfortable to send that message, because when I had that message, I didn't really like it. But something that I've also learned is not everyone is like you. Not everyone has the same feelings as you. And I had to step outside my comfort zone and realize the worst thing that's going to happen is they're not going to respond, or they're going to say they're not interested. And if you have a really bad hater, which honestly is very rare, then there's a block button. And I had to like get out of my head with that. So I literally just started sending like distributor messages. And kid you not, I have like people that I'm actually able to write down and say, holy crap, I would say I have 10 brand new solid potentials from just like 2 days, just from actively like sending those messages. And could I increase those? Absolutely. Am I going to be increasing them? Absolutely. But what I'm really proud of is like I stepped outside that comfort zone and I just started to send those messages I'm not comfortable with. I was messaging my own way. And I'm not saying that hasn't worked, but lately it hasn't. So I had to pivot and I had to think, okay, what is it that I can do to get more solid potentials, and what is it that I am lacking? And number one, it was confidence with sending those messages. Like, I'm not afraid to message people, but I'm afraid to message people differently than how I have been. I'm a person who hasn't liked change, and I have to adapt to that change. And I'm telling you, like, if you just step outside that comfort zone and you just push yourself, like even start with a small goal of like 10 people. Tay told me 100, but I'm going to tell you 10. High expectations. I love you, Tay. She's like, send 100. Okay. But 10 messages, send 10 messages, something that like you are not used to, like, oh, I don't want a cold message. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, get over that fear. Just do it. And trust me, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm not a fan of the cold messaging, but a lot of the times it can work. And it doesn't mean you're not genuine. It doesn't mean you don't care. But I am telling you, it has gotten more people in my inbox lately just by stepping outside that comfort zone and trying something different than I have been doing the past few months. So that's like what I had to say about that.
It's so good. So there's like, I love that you said 10, because there's this thing called the 10% mindset, and it means don't give up on something until you've attempted it 10 times. And what happens is if you do something 10 times, so like, let's just say going live, okay, you're uncomfortable, it's scary to go live, but go live 10 times. And I guarantee you by the 10th live that you've done, you either get results that you wanted, or you build a belief about yourself. You build a confidence within yourself because you've done it already 10 times. And then it's not even a big deal, and you're not even uncomfortable about it anymore because you've done it so much. And so I feel like for anyone that struggles with this, like sending cold messages or whatever, it's not even cold messages. It's just like putting your offer out there boldly, right? Boldly. If you're uncomfortable with that, like do 10 days in a row. And I guarantee you by the 10th day of sending 10 every single day, it's not going to be scary anymore, because that 10% mindset works with almost anything, I promise you. And you're going to have this belief about you, and you're just going to be like, oh, this is not that bad. And holy crap, there's a lot of people that are actually interested. Because when you put yourself out there, you guys, you're going to find more people. Like, you're setting yourself up to have more success by creating, like putting yourself in positions to have success. Like, if you're not signing people, just create more conversations. Like, there's so many people out there that are joining our businesses, that are signing up as customers as a company wide. So it's like, you can do it too. You just have to find those people. And the way you find those people is by increasing all of your efforts, increasing your host to post, increasing your messages, increasing your follow-ups, and you will naturally get more results. So I love that you had said 10, because I was literally just thinking about that 10% mindset thing. It's so good. Let's see, what else? I feel like the biggest things that we wanted to just kind of like cover and like uncover, I guess, was really figuring out like what's holding you back. Like, is it your schedule? Is it fear of being rejected? Is it fear of putting yourself out there? Is it fear of failing? Is it fear of finding success and losing it? Is it fear of rebuilding? Maybe you've had people quit your team and you're afraid to enroll people. I've been there. Like, what is it that's actually holding you back from really tapping into your fullest potential? Because I feel like so often, like, there's so much left in the tank for all of us, me included. And it's like, what is it? Like, what is it that's holding us back? Where do we find ourselves blaming when we are in our heads? Like, what's that excuse that we tell ourselves? I can't do this because this, or it's not working because this. And I feel like getting super self-aware of whatever that thing is so important, because once you know what that thing is, all you have to do is squash it. Literally write it on a piece of paper and freaking burn the paper. Then it's gone. Like, it can be that simple. If you decide that that thing is not going to hold you back anymore, it's not going to paralyze you anymore, like, figure out what that thing is and ask for help, you guys. Like, I think that there's so much power in just asking questions. And like, if you see someone with momentum and they're enrolling, like, have you picked their brain? Have you inboxed them? Have you asked them, sister, what are you doing? What are you doing? I think that there's power in just like speaking up when you're in a slump and not staying there. Because so often we can get stuck and we just feel like everyone around us is in this momentum and we're just stuck here. But it's like, what are you doing to get unstuck? And what's holding you back? What were you going to say, babe?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, because I was also reading the comments while you were talking, and I'm glad that you guys are dropping it in there. But, some people are saying, like, I'm fearing success or rebuilding. And I have to touch on that because I totally, totally feel that. When I start, especially like in that Ruby Rut, I honestly in my mind didn't think I could even go diamond. I was fearful of success and then fearful of like losing it all. And the one thing that I had to really train my brain on is, if you want success, you have to fail. And, like and really you don't actually fail unless you actually give up and quit. But let's be real, like we do have our own failures. We have personal failures. It may not even be business, but like no matter what stage you are in your business, you have to have it in your mind that success is not going to be an uphill climb. It's not going to be an incline, like perfectly smooth and easy. That's just not what success looks like. If it did, then there would be way more entrepreneurs out there, for sure. And the people who expect it to just be steady and easy are typically the people who are in a 9-to-5 mindset. And like, I'm just saying that because I had to learn that really hard myself. Is like, okay, like back when I was Ruby and I was constantly fluctuating, I knew that it was going to happen because, honestly, if I'm being really real, what kept me going was when I saw like a paycheck of Taylor's, but I'm also red. And I just knew like, okay, if I can stick with this and know like every year I'm giving it my best effort, there's always going to be success, but there is also going to be a slow time in your business.
It's not even slow, it's just growing. Like, you're not where you're at yet because you haven't learned the lessons you need to learn to get you there and to sustain it. And I think we see failure as this bad place, but it is where you grow the most. It is where you are watering your roots and you are like digging deep in your soul to figure out like, dang, I struggle with time management. Like, your flaws will come up when you're at rock bottom, and you're going to grow through that and you're going to figure out, okay, for me to get better, I got to fix this because this is the root of the problem. And then once you fix that, you're going to learn things, and then you're going to be diamond and above and wherever you want to go based on the things that you're learning, those lessons you're learning in the valleys. For sure.
Yeah. And like with people, I know like someone made a comment about rebuilding, and I'm still in the process of, I don't even say rebuilding, I would just say building. Because like just any job that you have, there are people that quit on a day-to-day basis. They decide this isn't for them, they go for another opportunity. And it's the same thing with this. And maybe those people were not meant to stay with you. And that was really hard to resonate with me because like I got real in my fifis when like my two main people just like up and quit. And I had to have that really tough conversation. I had a tough convo with Kelsey. She spanked me, and then Tay, like fluff and folded, but then spanked me again. And I had to like really come to terms with the fact that those people are just not meant to stay with me. And so if you're someone who's struggling with losing people, just know, like, you're right, people are going to be out there, and they're going to be people who are meant to be in your organization because they're people who truly want it. The one thing, like, I was always reviving the dead. I was always trying to revive the dead and talk people into not quitting, and it's just like it's exhausting. So don't be upset with yourself as a leader if people are giving up on the business. They're not giving up on you. They're not giving up on you. It's nothing that you personally did. Even if maybe you could have done some things better, it's not on you. All you can do is guide. You cannot keep people in. You just have to bless them in and like bless them out. And I stole that from Kelsey. So.
Well, and I think too, like when you're in momentum personally, like you're not going to worry about who's not staying because you're just focused on getting new people in. And so you naturally, like if you want to focus on signing and getting results, because when you're doing that, you're not going to be so high strung on those one or two people that have quit or have fallen off, because you're in momentum and you're enrolling and you're looking for new people constantly. And this is a building business. Our steps of success every month is what? 3 distributors, 6 customers, and repeat, right? And so, push yourself, hit your steps of success. And if you're not hitting your steps of success, what is holding you back from hitting it? What is stopping you from hitting it? Is it, are you not having enough conversations? Is it you're not in the right mindset, maybe? Like, I think that's a huge part of it for me. When I wasn't enrolling distributors, it was my mindset. I was so stuck in my own way that I couldn't sign distributors because I was so stuck in my own way. And so figuring out what that block is and then just moving forward and just getting better in those areas, I think is so good. And don't focus on the ones that don't want this, and just focus on the ones that are out there that do want to change their life and are hard workers, and start manifesting that, you guys. When you're messaging, when you're doing your daily like journaling, like write out who you want to attract into your business. I write out, I'm going to sign someone today that is hardworking, that is loyal, that is trustworthy, that is fun, that is faithful. I'm going to enroll someone today that's hungry. And so when you have that energy and you're writing that out and you're manifesting that, even through your messages, as you're sending them, you have that expectancy of what you want to receive. You'll start receiving people like that, and you'll start finding people like that just because you're putting it out there. And even in your posts, like, shoot, put it in your post. I'm looking for someone who's hungry, hardworking, and wants to change their life. That'll weed out a lot of people. They'll be like, ooh, I'm not hardworking. Ooh, I'm not hungry. Okay, stay on scrolling, Susan. But yeah, that's good. What else? Any last tips, Nicole, for momentum or getting out of your comfort zone?
I think I think we spit a lot of stuff out today. I think it was really good. The only thing I think I would add is just doing a lot more self-reflection. Something that I personally did myself, just a lot of self-reflection. And if like you're thinking, how can I go Ruby? How can I go Diamond? The one thing that I would say is, where's your growth at? What are you doing every day for yourself? Literally for yourself. I'm not talking about like your business. Like, what is it that you're doing for yourself to make yourself a better person and anxious to work? Little things that I started doing like in the morning is getting ready earlier. I would start feeling so down in the dumps and just, not feeling myself at all. And little things can just help so much in the morning. Like if you wake up a little earlier and put your makeup on, maybe that's the time to do a TikTok, a reel. But just wake up and make that decision that you're going to rock the day. And the first thing you got to do, if you got to put on your face, maybe that's just like some chapstick, whatever it is, but put on your face and put on like whatever outfit you want to wear, but get dressed, make your bed, and just like do little habits that make you a better person so that you can show up better for your business. That's like really the only thing I wanted to add.
Yeah, that is super good. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Gina asks, what DT messages do you all use? I can put one in the chat for you. But I think, planting the seed about the business, you guys, and leading with that. I mean, it is so easy to go from, especially right now that kits are $39, like plant the seed with everyone. Like, you don't know who needs this, you guys. The other day, I scrolled through my inbox on Facebook and I went way back to like 2 months ago. I haven't talked to these people for 2 months. And a lot of those people were people that had hosted a post for me, or maybe people that I had talked to about products with. And I just sent them this, I don't know if it'll paste. Hold on. I just sent like an active, distributor messages saying like, hey girl, I keep seeing you active on here. And I have 3 people that are interested in the business, or it might have been even more than that. But, go back through your inbox, get back to those people that you haven't talked to in a while, and just plant that seed. In the worst case scenario, they say no. And if people say no, I always offer them the products. If they say no, I ask them if they want to host a post. I go through that system. And you're gonna put yourself out there, and you're gonna plant tons of seeds, and you'll be surprised at how many people genuinely want to hear what you have your hands on and what your offer is. You just have to put yourself out there. So I challenge you guys to get uncomfortable with messaging, get uncomfortable with getting, your story out there, get uncomfortable putting your face on your story and getting your face on your Facebook, and, making your business your brand and making it around your life. Because when you start doing that, you're going to see results, and people are going to connect with you more, and they're going to want to they're going to want to join your team because they know you, and they see your face, and they hear your intensity and your passion through your videos or through your posts. And so be authentic and be yourself, because I think it's so easy to just like look left and look right and look at what the leaders are doing and try to be like them. And no one wants you to be like us, and no one wants that. Like, we want you to be you. I think it's good to get inspired by people, but man, like, figure out like what value do you want to give people on your timeline, and who do you want to connect with? Like, what's that audience look like for you? And go build your brand around that, and go make posts about that, and go add friends around that community that you want to bring into your business. If you want to focus on finding moms that want to lose weight, go find moms that are in Facebook groups about that. If you want to focus on, different types of people, like figure out who you want to connect with and who you want to help, and just be authentic, because I think that that's so huge. And I think that there's very much power in video. I've signed most of my people last month and this month through just video content on TikTok, Reels, or just Facebook Lives and stories. It could be the shortest little thing, but people want to hear your voice. They want to hear your excitement. And I think anytime you can give someone your most authentic self with your voice, it's going to seal the deal, and they're going to connect to you and trust you. So there's power in your voice. That's all I have. I'm going to close this out in prayer if you don't have anything else.
One thing, Meg would like us to do a boomerang before we hop off.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Do a boomerang. Let's do that.
Let's see. I got to get the glitter filter. Hold on.
The glitter filter.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Move your fingers or something. I'm going to do a peace sign. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, I wasn't boomeranging. Hold on. One more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I got it. Yay. All right, you guys, I'm going to close this out in prayer. Thanks everyone for staying on the Zoom and hopping on, spending your Monday with us. You guys are awesome. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us together as a family, as a team. God, I just pray for our businesses. I pray that you give us the confidence and the courage to be bold and to make this decision every day to build something that's for you and that's going to, glorify you and make you happy. And I just pray that you continue to put the right people in our line of vision that need these products, that needs this business, Lord. And I just pray that you just really dig deep in our hearts to help us all find that purpose, to find that bigger passion for this business that's going to drive us out of bed in the morning, that's going to make us excited and make us just super on fire to do this and to serve other people. And just keep everyone safe and healthy. And in your name I pray, amen, amen, amen. I'll see you guys later. Have a super great night, and we will get this recording up. Bye, guys.